Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Aina Kweo. In the news tonight, the International Parliament Scholarship for the German Bundestag allows graduates from Southern Africa to experience German politics in Berlin. Have a look.
Jetzt natürlich die interessanteste Frage für die ganzen jungen Leute, die sich vielleicht auch irgendwann bewerben wollen. Wie gestaltet sich denn der 4-wöchige Aufenthalt in Berlin, wenn man das Stipendium dann bekommen hat?
Also der 4-wöchige Aufenthalt gestaltet sich so, dass die Personen, das ist sicher das Kernstück des Stipendiums, eine Woche in Abgeordnetenbüros sind und mitarbeiten. Ich hatte dieses Frühjahr auch schon eine Stipendiatin aus dem südlichen Afrika und das war eine ganz spannende Woche. Es war eine Win-Win-Win-Situation für uns alle, weil ich habe sehr viel von ihr gelernt. Ich gehe davon aus, dass sie viel von uns gelernt hat und für mein Team war es auch eine echte Bereicherung.
In our next story, while the Namibia Airports Company described operations at the Hosea Kutako International Airport as having returned to normal after a cargo embargo by some airlines servicing the airport, several airlines have still not commenced their cargo services. Airlink yesterday announced that it had suspended its cargo operation at Hosea following the change in the airport's ground handling and cargo service provider. South African Airways also temporarily suspended cargo services earlier this week. NAC said that the airport has been going through a transition period since the 19th of August and in the highly regulated industry of aviation consultations, engagement and cooperation between various stakeholders about cargo handling had to be undertaken. NAC, as the principal operator of the airport, announces that while the new ground services provider Paragon awaits their accreditation for European-specific export cargo, airlines have resumed cargo movements. It said that accreditation for RA3 approved cargo is provided only after actual operations are observed by the persons conducting the audit and could therefore not be obtained before the change in the ground handling service provider. NAC said that imports and exports through Hosea are active and direct exports to the European Union can only happen once the ACC3 RA3 certification is attained. According to the NAC, Paragon has to date handled cargo for Ethiopian Airlines, South African Airways, Airlink and TAG Angola since the 19th of August. Now moving over to our next story, in a recent interview, Rachel Odede, UNICEF Namibia country representative, shared insight into the organization's impactful initiatives and the challenges facing Namibia, as well as highlighting several key projects for child welfare and education in Namibia. Odede's overall farewell message was one of hope and collaboration and emphasized UNICEF's commitment to working alongside the government and other partners to find practical solutions that cater to Namibia's unique needs. She stressed that the organization's focus remains unwavering to ensure no child is left behind and to advocate for the right and well-being of every child. Commendable efforts, Odede, who joined in Namibia in 2017, commended the government for its ongoing efforts to enhance efficiency in health procurement achieved through collaborations with the Finance and Public Enterprise Ministries and the Ministry of Health and Social Services. According to her, this project has already yielded great results, including the strengthening of the regulatory framework for pooled procurement and multi-year agreements. In our story of the day, there are loopholes when it comes to Namibia's implementation processes. More after the break.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the
15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
The Institute for Public Policy and Research this morning revealed that several annual procurement plans from different companies and ministries highlighting the health ministries have discrepancies. Now, the IPR's research Federico Links expressed that there are loopholes when it comes to Namibia's implementation processes, which ties in with transparency and eventually corruption. Tanya Kipke reports.
Look at. That is why these transparency mechanisms are there, so that we as the public, as the media, civil society can take a look at these things and question why you have these discrepancies and inconsistencies. And I mean, I think this reflects the Ministry of Health is constantly in the news for bad procurement practices. I mean, Global Fund has just accused it of mismanagement, including mismanagement of procurement under the Global Fund Namibia grant. So, I mean, things like these, where the procurement plans do not speak to the actual amounts of contracts being handed out, reflect bad planning. It actually opens the door to things like corrupt practices and underhanded dealings and so forth, because it's unclear what is actually happening when you're just looking at the documents, looking at the figures and so forth.
Moving on to community news, a mother seeks assistance for a son's burial after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Maria Andreas, the mother of a 9-year-old boy who drowned on Tuesday afternoon at Oluhua No. 1 village in Oshana, is pleading for assistance from Good Samaritans to assist her with anything that may ease the burial agreements, as she is unemployed. Andreas can be reached on 081 2364 001. That is 081 2364 001. In economic news, after the break, there is a shortage of appetizers in shops after the break.
To another exciting episode of Irongo Talk.
Hier is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
In economic news tonight, Coca-Cola in South Africa has confirmed there has been a shortage of appetizers in shops as the company faces a stock shortage of beverage. Coca-Cola spokesperson Bongile Mandela told News 24 in a brief statement that the shortage was not linked to quality issue and no recall of the product had taken place. The stock shortage was temporary and trade would resume in due course. In 2021, the National Consumer Commission recalled more than 37,000 appetizers after numerous batches did not pass the standard quality check and beverages were found to have toxins in them. Let's have a look at our economic indicators, proudly brought to you by Bank Windhoek. The Namibian dollar trades for 23 Namibian dollars 64 cents to 1 British pound, 20 Namibian dollars 29 cents to 1 euro, and 18 Namibian dollars 75 cents to 1 US dollar. All commodities have increased, with gold up with 0.02%, platinum 0.65%, and Brent crude oil 0.35%, and copper 1.12%. In international news, Trump supporters gather outside Atlanta jail, where he is expected to surrender. We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country. Dozens of Donald Trump supporters gathered outside the Atlanta jail, where the Republican former U.S. president was set to surrender on the 24th of August, a week after he was indicted in Georgia over his efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss to Democrat Joe Biden. The $200,000 bond package, to which Trump agreed on the 21st of August 2021, includes standard provision barring him from making direct or indirect threats against witnesses or his 18 co-defendants in the case, which concerns his efforts to overturn the 2020 election loss to Democratic President Joe Biden. In our next story, the remains of all 10 victims for the plane crash in the Tver region of Russia have been found and sent for forensic examination, according to a correspondent from the China Global Television Network on Thursday. Russia's Federal Agency for Air Transport confirmed on Wednesday that Yevgeny Prigozhin, a leader of the Wagner Group, a private military company, had been killed in the plane crash. According to a name list released by the agency on its Telegram account, Prigozhin was among the 10 people who lost their lives in the crash on Wednesday. The agency said that an investigation had been launched into the cause of the incident. A private Embraer plane en route from Moscow to St. Petersburg crashed in Tver region on Wednesday, Russia's Ministry of Emergency Situations said, noting all 10 people on board were killed in the incident. Now, the Ministry of Emergency Situation has dispatched personnel to the crash site, where vehicles for transporting corpses could be seen, according to CGTN correspondent. After the break, we return with the weather.
Namibians are still safe.
Everywhere else, the Supreme Court said we are not going to rely on foreign judgments.
By all means, we try to not make journalists public figures, but at the end of the day, they are.
Very good evening. My name is David Jabela, your host.
With their Protestant offsprings.
But the implementation, like she's saying, is another thing.
Let's have a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. The north has a maximum temperature range of 37 to 38 degrees and a minimum temperature range of 9 to 16 degrees with clear weather conditions throughout the day in most areas with partly cloudy conditions in Aranos. The coastal region has a maximum temperature range of 15 to 21 degrees and a minimum temperature range of 9 to 13 degrees with clear conditions throughout the day with partly cloudy conditions in Walvis Bay. After the break, we bring you the sports package courtesy of Sports Rep.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Welkom jullie, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolen. Dit meest donderdagse sportstrip noem. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le Jean.
Je gaat iets met
Is dit een onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld. We zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week.
Gooi kolen!
Gooi kolen!
Welcome to Sports Wrap for Sunset News. Let's get straight into your stories. Ollie Watkins scored a hat-trick as Aston Villa all but secured a Conference League group stage place with a 5-0 thrashing of Hibernian in their playoff round first leg on Wednesday. The Premier League side started their first European campaign since losing in Europa League qualifying in 2010 in fine style. Unai Emery's men, who put 4 past Everton at the weekend, started strongly as Watkins headed home Lucas Dignes' cross in the 17th minute at Easter Road. Mamelodi Sundowns made it to 5 wins from 5 at the start of the new DStv Premiership season after they edged Richards Bay 1-0 at the King Goodwill Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi on Wednesday evening. It took Rulani Mokwena's side just 11 minutes to open the scoring when Junior Mendieta capped off a fine move to register his first goal for his new club, although the Natal Rich Boys didn't sit back and carved out some chances themselves. However, the Brazilians held on to pull further away from the chase. And Verstappen can equal Sebastian Vettel's record 9 wins in a row this weekend as Formula One ends its August break and heads for the Dutch seaside dunes of Zandvoort. The 25-year-old Red Bull driver can count on a capacity crowd cheering him all the way as he returns home more dominant than ever. The double world champion is favourite to complete a hat-trick after winning the 2 races held at the circuit since it returned to the calendar in 2021 and has a 125-point lead over Mexican teammate Sergio Perez after 12 of 22 rounds. That brings us to the end of Sports Wrap for Sunset News.
Vir sportliefhebbers en belangstellendes skakel weekliks in op die Tonnelsportprogram waar ons elke Vrydag aand saamgesels op NTV op DStv kanaal 285. Dit is oor die naweek se internasionale sport asook wat in Namibië gebeur. Die tonnel is ook op GoTV kanaal 25 en dan Vrydag aande 9uur op al die Facebook-platforms van Namibië Media Holdings. Kom hoor wat sê die kundiges en die spelers en die afrigters. Sien jou in die tonnel.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Here are the highlights from tonight's broadcast. While the Namibia Airports Company described operations at the Hosea Kutako International Airport as having returned to normal after a cargo embargo by some airlines servicing the airport, several airlines have still not commenced their cargo services. In a recent exit interview, Rachel Odede, UNICEF Namibia country representative, shared insight into the organization's impactful initiatives and the challenges facing Namibia, as well as highlighting several key projects for child welfare and education in Namibia. Ollie Watkins scored a hat-trick as Aston Villa but secured a Conference League group stage place with a 5-0 thrashing of the Hibernian in their play-off first-round leg on Wednesday. The Premier League side started their first European campaign since losing in Europa League qualifying in 2010 in fine style. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook on all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, which is called oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285, as well as GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Please don't end your day without us. Good night.